Hello and welcome. Let's have a look at the diplomatic efforts by both India and Pakistan. Pakistan delegation reached US and briefed United Nations members as well as China's permanent ambassador to the United States, Fu Kong. I believe the most important briefing had been to the Chinese permanent ambassador. Not that it compromises or lessens the impact of Pakistan's briefing to other members of the United Nations, but this meeting has a particular set of circumstances right from the start leading up to the war between Pakistan and India. So that's why I say the China-Pakistan meeting had been of special significance. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari had briefed the ambassador about not only about India's aggression but Pakistan's restraint as well. A very fine, important point that Pakistan has been exercising restraint in the face of Indian aggression, in the face of even Indian attack. Pakistan only retaliated. And even this delegation's visit comes in response to India's visit to different countries. I will also like to shed some light on what the Indian diplomatic offensive had been and how effective it has been. I will just quote a little example, but first I want to brief you on this briefing to the Chinese ambassador. They also shared the details of the arbitrary attack by India. So when the government tells a representative of the United Nations what the Indian aggression had been all about, it gives all the details of the attacks, of ammunition used, rockets rained, aircraft battles. So everything was talked about. And the most important point had been the attack on civilian population or the killing of the civilians by Indians. That was also highlighted. Now, the terrorism part, that is also important because Pakistan, I believe, had been lagging in this front. Now they had come forward and also told the UN members as well as Chinese ambassador about India's involvement in Balochistan as well as funding other terrorist organizations which had been attacking Pakistan. And Pakistan's consistent stance had been that Pakistan is a victim of terrorism itself. So that was also spelled out. And last but not the least, the Indus Water Treaty, that was also highlighted. And in a peculiar international legal background of the Indus Water Treaty, the briefing was extended and it was said that India had been aggressive and had suspended the Indus Water Treaty. So, though the legal term used is abeyance, they have held it in abeyance, although they don't have any right or legal right to do that. So, this has been stated before the United Nations members and the Chinese ambassador as well. Now, Kashmir, which has a special significance in this. I will come to that in a bit because the Indian offensive, diplomatic offensive, needs to be highlighted here. When India was visiting different countries, when India was telling the world about Pahalgam attack, it is really, really frustrated when the response came in. For example, I will just quote a paragraph from this report in the Diplomat and regarding the EU's response. It said that the EU urged dialogue over military response and reminded both sides to follow international law and avoid civilian harm. So Indians are really, really angry over the statement coming out of the EU. They say that the EU reverted to familiar diplomatic hedging. In the same breath, Brussels called for both India and Pakistan to exercise restraint and de-escalate tensions. So Europe, when it talks about de-escalating the situation, exercising restraint, respecting the international law, frustrates India. How good is that? So now the Kashmir part, the China-Pakistan relationship and the briefing to the Chinese permanent UN ambassador. I told you that it is very important. and it is important in the context of the two countries' relationship with each other, which had stood the test of time. And China has demonstrated time and again that it not only states that it respects and supports Pakistan's territorial integrity and Pakistan's sovereignty, but also demonstrates that on international level and on bilateral level as well. So China is believed to be the only country which can help Pakistan resolve Kashmir issue, which can influence India to come to the table and resolve Kashmir issue. And China has been asking Indians as well to come to the table along with Pakistan and create a triangular relationship of peace. But India has been elusive on that front. And that reminds me of what our Chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee, General Sahir Shamshad Mirza, stated a couple of days back at the Shangri-La Dialogue at the International Institute of Strategic Studies. He said that India is being backed by West to become a net security provider in the region, which essentially means that the West supports India against China. So that is the equation in the region, which is creating a lot of trouble. And Kashmir, goes without saying, needs to be resolved. This is it. I'll come up with another topic tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.